This video is sponsored by K&F Concept. I've been a lucky lady this year and I've got to test a good chunk of all the new cameras that have come out in 2025. Now, just a caveat, I am but one woman and I have not tried every single new camera that's come out this year, so there may be a few gaps. And by all means, recommend in the comments what I might try next. But I thought it'd be quite fun to go through, in my humble opinion, the very best and also the very worst camera releases that have happened in 2025. At number 10, in my opinion, the worst camera that's new that I've used this year, and for many years, is the Lumix TZ99. Now, this is a premium compact camera that has a wealth of zoom, like a ridiculous amount. It's like 720 millimeters zoom in full frame terms. And if you're after zoom in a small form factor, this may be great for you. However, the expense of that is the image quality is a bit pants. And the reason that this annoyed me so much as a camera release is I firmly believe, from what I've seen in my own comments and online, that people are crying out for a new premium compact from Panasonic. Maybe that comes in the form of a new LX100 or a new LX10. This is not that. This is very much your dad camera going on holiday, taking zoomed in photos of lizards on walls. It's not really a photographer's camera, in my opinion, and therefore probably not for me at all. It's just great to have like a family camera in someone's bag. In fact, it's basically the same as the TZ95, which came out in 2019, except they've taken off the EVF, which was one of the only good things going for that camera. So bad points all around. And I'm an absolute fangirl of Lumix, and it pains me to put them in last place, but yeah, this camera release was not the one. And especially when it's priced at £549. Like, think of what you could buy for that money. In at number 9, the Sigma BF. Now, this is undoubtedly a unique and beautiful camera, and I always applaud brands when they do something a little bit different. However, I think there are more than a few glaring omissions with the Sigma BF. It's a full frame L-mount camera, very similar in a lot of ways to the Lumix S9. However, there is no IBIS, there is no mechanical shutter, there is no mic input unless you use the USB-C, there's no internal storage, there's no Wi-Fi, the video features are quite lacking, and then because there's no stabilization, the video features suck. And I just think for the price of the blooming thing, there's too many compromises. There's no EVF as well, which is a deal breaker for a lot of people, and the one that annoyed me the most personally is there's only one camera strap lug, so you only have the option to put it on a wrist strap unless you use the tripod mount at the bottom. And I just think, yes, there's minimalism, that's cool, that's fine, but that's just taking it too far. Particularly when you pair that with the fact that it's quite blooming hard to hold. It's jagged and it digs into your hand, and I didn't find the experience of holding it very comfortable at all. I can totally see how this will spark joy with some people though, because if you want a really stylish camera, really premium looking, it's full frame, it's relatively small, it definitely starts conversations whenever you're out and about with it. I can see how this would appeal to a lot of people, but I just think for me, if I was going to buy a full frame L-mount camera that's small, I would just buy the Lumix S9. The Lumix S9 is like 800 quid cheaper and you get way more for your money. And the S9 is actually really quite stylish now. They've brought out the pretty titanium one as well. So in at number 8, and a reminder that this is all entirely my opinion, and from here on in it's more like maybe I just wouldn't buy one. It's not necessarily bad. This is Kyra camera. This is a micro four thirds camera that attaches to your iPhone, and you can instantly take photos and videos, share it out with the world. It has AI features built in. It's quite an interesting and innovative bit of tech. I think for me, if I'm adding something to my phone, I'm making something bigger rather than smaller, and the footprint of this on a phone is a lot bigger than a lot of cameras that I like to go out with, so it doesn't tick many boxes for me. However, I do always applaud when brands are trying to do something different, and this is certainly different. It's also a bit of a non-starter for me personally because it's mainly compatible with iPhone and I'm very firmly in Team Android. In at number 7, we have the Osmo 360 by DJI. This is their first 360 camera. It has a lot of great stuff going for it. It does do 10-bit video, it does shoot 8K, so the actual quality of it, and particularly in low light as well, is very cool indeed. But for me, on this camera launch, I think it just lacks the fact that it's Gen 1. I think the app on both desktop and the phone is quite buggy and quite basic. The way that it worked, at least at the time of launch, I'm hoping there's been a few more updates since I've last had a look, there were really basic things like motion blur that you couldn't add into the app. Another reason that I think I would prefer the Insta360 iterations of cameras, particularly the new one, the X5, is because you can't replace the lenses yourself on the Osmo 360. And when I was using it out and about, bonked it on the floor, almost smashed it to smithereens, almost ruined the entire review. And yeah, if I needed to fix it, I would have had to have sent it off to DJI for repair, which isn't the end of the world, unless you're out of the house for a holiday, for example. Like if that happened on day one of your holiday and your address is changing, you just don't have a camera. Whereas with the Insta360 X5, you can replace the lenses on the go and have some in your bag if the worst happens. And considering these 360 cameras are like all glass, like they're really hard to put down because there's just a lens on both sides, I think it's a very good thing to have replacements on hand. Let me just quickly talk about the sponsor of today's video, K&F Concept. They've been a sponsor of this channel for a while and they sell a lot of really high quality camera accessories like filters, V-mount batteries, and also this cool 3-in-1 micro tripod. This is great for your phone and also little cameras like the Ace Pro 2 or a GoPro or whatever you happen to be using. I love how the mechanism just pings open at the bottom, it's really satisfying, and I love that it's MagSafe compatible as well, so you can connect your phone to it just using a magnet. It also extends really high, it's 72 inches, so if you're out and about and you want to get some quick clips of yourself, then this is a very incognito and quick way to do it. So very versatile if you do like to film on smaller devices. If you'd like to check out this accessory or any other accessory that K&F Concept sells, then check out the links in the description, and thanks as always to them for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. Let's get back to my list. Next, we have the OM System OM5 Mark II. This was just so exciting for me, but also a little bit frustrating as well. As a Micro Four Thirds fanatic, I love to see the new menu styles compared to the old Olympus menus. I'm actually oddly in love with the weird beige color that this came out in. But in terms of like innovation and pushing the system forward, I don't think it went as far as it should have, particularly on the video side. I actually think, given that OM System have industry-leading IBIS, there's a mic input, there's a screen that flips out, phase detect autofocus, which works very, very well. If the video was in any way modern, this could have been mine and a lot of people's everyday vlogging camera. As it stands, it only has 8-bit video, which I don't think they've upgraded since like the EM5 Mark III or whatever. And it's really frustrating to see. It was so close to being so cool. But what is great about this camera is it's very weather sealed, it's very rugged and very small. So it's a perfect travel companion for big trips like Iceland, for example, where I got some really nice photos with it. It just frustrated me personally because I kind of think that Lumix have kind of set the expectation a little bit that Micro Four Thirds cameras ought to be hybrid and not just photocentric. And if the OM5 Mark II had the 10-bit video and log profile that you would find in the OM3, I think it would have been a much more dramatic splash of a camera launch. The Lumix S1R Mark II. I was lucky enough to go to the launch of this in Tromsø in the coldest, most stormiest of times. Even the reindeers wanted to come inside the huts. This is a full frame workhorse. It's the high resolution full frame camera from Lumix. It's 44 megapixels. It's very nice indeed. As I'm working now, mostly as a YouTuber that does the odd bit of client work, it's probably too much camera for me, to be honest. I've shot some weddings with it this year and it's been great, and if I was still doing weddings full time, I would rock the S1R2 and also the S1 Mark II, and I would dual wield them. So I'm sure it ticks a lot of boxes for a lot of people, but I do prefer another full frame Lumix that came out this year personally. And spoiler, I'm filming on the other one now. Next, the one that caught me by surprise because I had absolutely no idea it was coming out and it just arrived in a box at my house as I was leaving to go to the Isle of Man. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what this is. It's the Insta360 Go Ultra. I absolutely love this line of cameras. I've bought all the older ones myself because I just think they're so innovative and cool. And the Ultra has really done leaps and bounds forward in terms of image quality. I've always loved the idea of it being small and magnetic and you can put it in loads of different places, but the image quality has always been a little bit lackluster unless you're in very bright conditions. Now with the Ultra, it's about as cool as the H Pro 2. It's very, very good, very usable, and you can match it with more traditional cameras very easily. I've been using this a lot to document my climbing this year, and I've even used it for a client job or two. So I absolutely love it, and I wish more people were excited about this camera actually, because I think it's so cool. Next we have the S1 Mark II by Lumix, and it's what I'm filming on right now, and all of my officey stuff this year has been with this. I absolutely love it. I shoot everything in open gate just because I can. Why the heck not? And then if I ever get any time, I can turn them into little shorts, but I don't often have the time. Now this is another professional tool, but it's more up my street than the S1R2. You have a partially stacked sensor, brilliant burst modes, brilliant subject detection, excellent video, and even things like the 4K 60 doesn't punch in anymore. On the S5 II, which is what I used to shoot a lot of wedding films, etc. with in the past, every time you went into 4K 50 or 4K 60, it would go into like APS-C mode, and you'd have to reframe. So it's so refreshing to be able to access those slow motion modes without having a punch in. I've used this for weddings, client work, which has been excellent. Again, it's big, it's chunky, it's not the first thing I would reach for if I was going on a fun trip. But if I was doing a wedding, for example, it would be top of my list. Next, at number 2, we have a sort of last minute entry to me. It came out in February, I was just late to the game, and that is the Canon PowerShot V1. I loaned this to do a little bit of a wrap-up video about the best tiny cameras that have video as well. I ended up loving it so much, I just ended up buying it, and it's so good. What makes it so special is it has a sort of micro four thirds sized sensor, though it is a 3:2 ratio and not 4:3. It has an ultra wide 16mm lens. It's great for photography because you have 16 to 50mm covered. It's great for video, and it has a wonderful windshield built in and a wonderful onboard mic as well, and even built-in ND filters. So if you're looking for something that you can just sort of plop down and vlog to, it's such a good camera, but it's also good for photo as well. This is the first Canon that I've used in a very long time, and I have to say I found the menus intuitive, everything was nice and modern, everything was logical, and I really sort of just hit the ground running with this camera. I felt like I'd owned it for a very long time after only a few days. So it absolutely blew me away, and I think I may have to check out some more Canons in 2026. Give me some recommendations. On to number 1, which may not be a surprise to anybody if you've been on this channel this year. My favourite camera release of 2025 was the very first one in January, the OM System OM3. This is one of the cameras that I had on loan for a bit. I took it to Finland, did the main review, and then immediately blooming bought one on launch. And what I adore about this camera is it's stylish, but also like built like a tank and really functional as well. It has the same electronic burst modes as the OM1 Mark II. So you can use this for birds in flight, you can use this for wildlife. I got some great puffin photos in Iceland with it this year. And then in the next breath I was walking through a waterfall with it, and then you can take it around Amsterdam, do some street photography. There's just so much versatility with this camera. And unlike the OM5 Mark II, the video side is actually very good as well. I think as it stands, it's probably as close as we're going to get to getting a new Pen F. Yes, it's a chunky boy, the OM3, it's quite a wide camera, but it's still very stylish, and I don't think it's that bad to sort of carry around with you. It's about the same footprint as like a Fujifilm X100V, so pretty much the standard for what is acceptable for everyday carry sort of cameras. And I've loved every minute with this camera this year. I've got some banging photos with it. We've been in the snow, we've photographed fire festivals, I've been to Iceland. It's just been a joy to use. But at the same time, I do think it was quite a divisive camera, because as much as the aesthetic of it appeals to me, I think a lot of people who shoot OM system cameras are more bothered about how it feels in the grip. So people might gravitate towards the OM1 Mark II a little bit more. But for me, I'm a bit of a weirdo. I want a camera that will do everything, and the OM3 certainly does. So what has been the most eye-catching release of 2025 in your opinion? Do let me know in the comments. And I've also linked every dedicated video that I have for any of these cameras, so you can check those out as well if you'd like to learn more.